Alright, so we're making a rocket glider. I nicknamed it the Saber Program. For all those who played Halo Reach, I was born. Alright, and it was by
Tyler Cook
and George Smith and
Brandon D.
Next, do we have a clicker?
Yes, you do have a clicker here.
You just gotta use your brain powers.
I don't quite think that's how it works.
Yep.
So these were some failed body tube attempts. So we tried fiberglassing a tube and and then vacuum sealing the fiberglass on. First attempt, it got crushed like a pancake. So valuable lesson, put reinforcing. This is part of it. The second one, we put the reinforcing into the tube, and then the glue got sucked into the tube, so we had a really difficult time pulling it out. So yeah, that basically made it.
Let me just add on to that real quick, George.
So it was unusable.
So the reason we were doing all this is because when we tried to cut these slots in our original rocket tube, basically they weren't very structurally sound anymore, where they would just flay around and it wouldn't be one solid rocket body, and so we wouldn't be able to really launch out of that. So we were looking for different ways to reinforce it, and this is actually the first thing we did, is just print a concentric tube made out of the 3D plastic, whatever that is, possibly ABS.
Yeah, ABS.
ABS? Yeah. But that also really wasn't that strong. In fact, it was basically just as flimsy as a cardboard. So then we tried to fiberglass it. Our first attempt didn't go so well, and our second attempt we couldn't cut out.
What happened was this part was glue got sucked into the tube, which glued this part in, and it also was sucked into this part, so the rocket engine wouldn't fit in the hole. So
what we ended up doing to reinforce it is we just put these wooden beams inside our rocket, which originally there was still a tube around this, but for other reasons, which we're going to get into, we actually took the actual tube out itself as well.
What we used, what do you mean? This thing.
Yeah.
That's what it looked like.
Our last rocket that you saw fly, that had these on the inside, just bass sticks on the inside glued to the cardboard. The other cardboard wasn't reinforced like this. But the bass sticks just was our compromise between getting the structural integrity we needed, and keeping the shape, and our other attempts didn't work out well, so that worked out fine in its simplicity.
Yeah, so our first attempt was without these wooden supports, and we figured we needed them, so we ended up scrapping this launch tube. That was to hold the engine into the bottom of the rocket. So we went with this idea where we cut notches out of basically this part, except for a new model, and attached the wood, and we glued it onto the inside of the rocket to try to hold the fin so it wouldn't crush and not let the glider out. And then ultimately we moved on. That one didn't work either both attempts. So we moved on to this design using one with 6 of the slots for the fins, or sorry, not fins, for the wooden things to come out of just hold the glider in place.
So just to quickly go over and touch on those again, the reason we changed it from that, to have these fast sticks running along the engine mount, is so that we could get them glued to as much of the cardboard surface area as possible, so that they would actually help resist the bending of the cardboard. Because the more of it is touching, the more of it is also acting on the wood. And then here we changed it to this once we got rid of the cardboard tube, so that we could have 2 of the wooden sticks pinching the wings of the plane together to essentially hold it in one spot.
Yeah, because before what happened is they're using this as a model, this end would pinch up and it would make it hard for the glider to get out. So we had to scrap this idea.
So these are just some more pictures of the initial rocket, which you guys all know and love as much as we do.
You can see the wood. You can see the wooden, supports glued to the side. Actually, there's an interesting bit of history behind this fin, because we actually have it on this model too. Because it's important to equalize out the fins, otherwise the rocket's going to curve, and we don't want that to happen. So we put this fin on the other side to keep all the sides balanced, and to prevent any sort of weird rocket from curving or doing other weird maneuvers that we don't want to do.
So one more part we haven't touched on. George, if you could just let them see that picture, step to the side a little bit. So right here, originally we had them cut in 2 separate pieces, hoping to pop off the top half and then have the glider fly out. So we connected those through 2 concentric rings, one 3 printed around the outside, and one rocket joiner that's already pre-made was glued to the inside, so that basically the lower tube would wedge perfectly in between them, and they'd really lock in well, not be able to move side to side at all. And at times, it was a little bit too tight. We managed to lower all that, make it nice and smooth. But unfortunately, with our latest test, it still didn't properly pop off and let the glider come out.
So we scrapped it.
So we basically just took the entire top off, and we're going to now attempt this, which is aerodynamically a lot less sound and is pretty scary to look at, but hopefully we'll at least get a glider coming out of there.
So why this one failed really quick though? We were using the C engines, was it, for this one? And that didn't have a detonation charge that was strong enough to push this out.
Yeah.
And the top off. So that's why we're going with this one, which we'll explain I guess on the next slide.
Yeah, well, also you can see it. Oh yeah. And so we also decided to add a plug with a engine on it. So the idea was to basically a second stage would, push the glider out, which is actually what we did with this design, because you can see there is a second there's a plug with a engine on it just to push this.
So the end of the C engine ignites the A engine, which then hopefully will push out the glider. But in the first time we tried this, which was actually our last launch, our second one, it basically just jammed and the engine burned a hole through our last 3D printed plastic plug.
This is this part, if you guys want to pass it around.
It smells kind of funny though. You gotta watch out.
Yeah.
So the idea is that you increase the area that the ejection charge has in pushing up the glider, so it has more force, and that's going to get it out of the.
So this is what we're working on right now. Where, like we said before, we basically just took off the entire top half so that we will definitely be getting the glider out of the rocket body this time.
Kind of like the Martian. Yeah. Well, one of the things we really learned was the ejection charge is not powerful enough to blow the nose cone off. Plus, we also think, because the gas is just escaping out these slits, because you can see from the slow-mo, which I'll give you analysis of later, basically you see the puff of smoke come out, of the glider after the ejection charge fires. So we're assuming that it was the smoke from the ejection charge going off was just escaped out these slots and didn't go anywhere.
Okay.
And now cue the video.
Hit it, George.
Right.
Doesn't even upload the YouTube.
Just escape there.
Is that how you spell kids? No, right here.
Okay, so this is a slow motion video of our first rocket.
And this is the best part, guys.
It is taking off.
Slow motion.
Curves for some reason. We didn't figure that one out. Probably the wind.
And then you see God shining down on us right there with that little.
Yeah, you notice. Watch carefully. Can I pause the video?
You got it.
Alright, I'll do that later. Not right now.
So it's already working down before the ejection charge is out.
But yeah, so if anyone of you guys noticed the brief,
Well, you can actually see the ejection charge in the trail. Is what we're trying to say.
Where? Alright, so wait for it. You can see the smoke right there. See the smoke just cut off? And then it restarts again? So our guess is that's the ejection charge firing. Because these ejection charges on C engines have a 0-second timer, so they don't have a timer. So we're guessing that the smoke cut off here, and that's ejection charge firing. So all this smoke here is from the ejection charge. So yeah, that was our analysis on that. And then you see the rocket fall, shoot failed to deploy, and yeah.
So that's why it didn't work, and next time it will work.
Hopefully.
Wait, so was that was the second one?
This is the first
This
one.
is the very first one, yeah.
We don't really have any good footage of the second launch, unfortunately. But whatever. So yeah, questions? Yes.
Are you guys still putting a nose cone on that thing?
Nope.
No.
This is the nose cone.
You
This
ever
is our main rocket
seen
nose
The Martian?
Yeah, we watched it.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Maybe you're absent. Point is, this is our convertible spacecraft.
I got a question.
Yeah. Yes.
What's going to stop your rocket from flipping upside down instantly? Because it's like super tail heavy.
We have less area.
Well,
the
we'll
tail
find
end, that's a
out.
stability thing for planes, not for rockets, Alex.
No, I know, but isn't most of the weight supposed to be in like the nose?
It's supposed to be.
You want surface area at the back, weight in the nose.
Yeah.
Well, we have part one of that. We have a lot of surface area at the back.
Yeah, this might actually. Yeah.
So.
Well, I hope it works.
Wait, this is what I was talking about when I said we have stability concerns.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna cut off the camera here. Are we good?
Yeah. We